Okay, guys. So today I'm going to talk real quickly about um, an issue that I'm seeing on the horizon right now. Stuff I'm seeing right now, and stuff that I'm seeing that's not too pretty. And what I like to talk about is the AI. And I know that this subject has been done to death. You're probably like, man, no more AI. But in case you're wondering what this is, it's just a little male right here. He just wants to be up here with me, and he just wants to say hey to everybody. He just wants to be up here with me, and he wants to go back down under his cubbies, and that's okay. He's a good boy. Yeah, he just wants to be under his covers next to me. He likes his covers. I don't know why. And this is his covers. That they're not too pretty. They're not too whatever, but there he is. I keep him with him. I bring him in here. He lays on his covers, lays with his covers. He goes to bed with me. He has his covers on him and everything else. So he's always a good boy. He's always happy as long as he's with his daddy. And so, yeah, so he's okay as long as he's with his daddy. And anyway, so uh, I like to talk real quickly about an issue going on with AI, and I want to talk about AI, my perspective. Now, my perspective may not be your perspective. You may not like what I'm saying. You may not agree with what I'm saying on this whole thing. Uh, but I think we can pretty much come to the same conclusion by the time you hear my side of the story and everything else. So, let me just say it like this about AI technology. AI technology, if we don't do something about AI technology, us as people, then they're just going to run all over us and do whatever they want to. They're going to just ruin us. They're not going to allow us to. We're going to be in big trouble over AI technology. Now, let me explain what I mean by this. Is I think everybody's kind of come to the conclusion, and I just want to kind of hit a middle ground here with everybody so we can understand and kind of all get around a campfire. Uh, but I think everybody's kind of come to the conclusion now that AI technology is going to be is really going to be a mess. It's making a mess, right? And so many jobs are just gone, just gone because of AI technology. And some of these jobs are never going to come back. And they may never come back, and maybe we can somehow or another make them come back. But what we can do, and what we need to do here in America, we need to make it so that we know that we don't buy a product of theirs. And in any job, any company right now, like Amazon has basically uh, has basically killed off, as we already know. I think it was 27,000 jobs. Right now, there's so many 20,000 jobs down at Marvel, which is a movie production company that's down in Georgia and down in a certain part of Georgia down there. I don't know what part of Georgia that was. Maybe in Atlanta, but it's somewhere down in Georgia, and they're killing off that Marvel Comics. Marvel is killing off like 20,000 jobs to go over to Germany, and they're saying it's because of healthcare related stuff. So the people will have a chance to go over there and be in Germany. So, but this isn't due to AI. Okay, so I shouldn't really probably bring that up, but still, I know what's going to happen when they get there. They've already said they're going to start making AI movies that generated AI by AI, and they're going to have AI movies. And so, I've heard that they make some lifelike movies and everything else using AI. They've even talked about in Fast and Furious 9. They're talking about actually bringing back Paul Walker in the newest. There's Fast 8, Fast 9. I think it's Fast 10 or something like that. Anyway, they're talking in the newest Fast and Furious. They're talking about bringing back Paul Walker, and they can do this through AI technology. If you look at what they can do with AI technology, it's something else. And you got some cheaper type things that's making these YouTube videos, and some of them can really kind of be hard to see the difference of the AI, whether it's not it's AI, even through YouTube. Now, you think about that on a grand production scale of of television and stuff like that, and going to movies and stuff like that. Somebody like Marvel will have enough money that they can actually go over there and make AI movies, make a whole new movie star, and we not even know they're AI. You know, the only main way we'll know they're AI is because they're not walking the red carpet. You know, they're not walking the red carpet. They're not there at the Academy Awards. They're not there. You know, so when they're not there, then that's a big difference. So, you know, I mean, who knows? They might even do the Academy Awards with an AI person out in seat. Who knows? But you know, when people can't physically see a person, they'll know. But you know, I mean, through cell phones, stuff like that, we'll know that this person's not real somehow. And the truth of the matter is, AI technology is not just affecting in the movies, the videos, and everything else. AI technology is getting everywhere. And if we look at where AI technology is going, if you do a Google search right now, it gives you AI technology results. You don't have a choice to even opt out of it. It's not a possibility. I've looked. But if you do a Google search, you can't get out of AI technology. You even if you search in a Kosha, Kosha has a little toggle off button for AI. Then there's one that's called Swiss Cows that actually has a toggle off button for AI. Now you can go to different things like Free Spoke. Free Spoke has a toggle off AI. There's several things that you can toggle off the AI, and that's through your search results. But when it comes to the real world out here in society, you cannot toggle that off for machines taking over your jobs and your production in a company. It's not possible. We can't do that. So the biggest problem we're having is that we're not able to get rid of all the stuff that's going on with AI. And right now we're at a pivoting point. You know, I hate to say it, but we are. We're at a pivoting point. We're at a pivoting point right now to where we could possibly stop it if we tried. If we worked hard at it, we could stop AI. And the main way we can stop it here in America is just by not buying the product. If we find out a company like Amazon, which Amazon's, if you know anything about Amazon and what they're already doing, they charge they charge the people who sell on their product or they sell their products on their website like big bunch of money and stuff like that for the fees for selling that product on our website. Now they, you know, then on top of that, so many of these other companies are just making, you know, they're doing so much stuff with AI and everything else. They got so many trillions of dollars invested in this thing, and I don't care how much trillions of dollars they got invested. But I know one thing: if you remember back in around the early 2000s, really late 90s and early 2000s, we had the option, we had the chance, we had the opportunity then to actually stop, and I mean stop, AI dead in its track. I mean, it's not AI. We had a chance then to stop Chinese and imported goods in their tracks. We had a chance to buy American-made products here in America, and we had a chance to stop this stuff dead in its tracks back then. And we didn't do nothing to stop this stuff made, you know, from being made overseas anywhere else. We didn't do anything to stop any of this stuff from happening. And since we didn't do nothing to stop it, now we got a flooded market with a bunch of Chinese cheap goods and stuff that's not worth a crap. We buy the stuff and it ain't worth a damn. Let's just be honest about it. It's not, right? So since we don't have that option to buy the Chinese since we don't have the option to buy America no more, we got left with this thing to where we just have to put up with what we got now, and that's not a it's not a there's no opt out, right? Because we bought the product. Well, fast forward to today, we're at that same parallel. We are repeating history from 25 years ago. We're repeating history right now, from 25 years ago. We're coming up to a point. We can go this way and go this way. We're at a Y effect. So the road crosses off. So if a company is making AI and I keep buying that company's product, well, I'm leading myself down to the road of ruin. If I don't keep buying that company's product, I lead myself to a road of pleasurable goods. Okay, more pleasure in my life, in your life, by making them build it in America, in America here. And excuse me if some of my people may be overseas. I don't think I have anybody overseas. I think maybe I got somebody in Canada, which if they're making it in Canada, that's fine. They're our brothers anyway. It's okay if it's made in Canada. They're our brothers, they're our allies. That's fine if they're made in Canada. Even if it's made in England, it's still better than some country that's not a part of NATO. That's not our allies. Stuff like that. They're our friends, all right? Because Canada's our friends, so we love Canada. Okay. So if you're making the product in Canada, I don't care if I buy the product from Canada, because they're still our brothers and our friends and our sisters and stuff in Canada. Okay, so if you're in Canada, if you're in Ukraine, if you're in Australia, your products come here, I'll buy your product. I don't care. That's fine by me. I still love you and everything else. But if it's coming from China, China and Russia and them, they're trying to undersell America. They're intentionally trying to eat away at the United States economy and trying to tear down the United States. That's what they're doing. And they're doing it under the guises of, at first it was kind of under the guises of being friends. And really they're not being our friends. We know they're not being our friends. Okay? So we're at a pivoting point. Like I said. We can go this way or we can go this way. And we can see what it is. Let's say in Africa, right? Let's say right now in Africa, they got these cheap African goods. Let's put it this way. I don't know if you know what's happened, but China and Russia has gotten in good friends with Africa. That's what BRICS is. BRICS is Brazil, Russia, India, China. It's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, so they're all in together. They're all in good. America sort of rejected South Africa. We just didn't want to deal with South Africa. We never tried to modernize South Africa. And one of the reasons why is because we kind of just felt like, well, it's like somebody said, if you modernize or try to modernize South Africa, you'll just have nothing but a bunch of people living in a mud that's more civilized with a smartphone living in a mud hut. And that's pretty much true, because truth of the matter is, those people over there, they just don't want to do better for themselves. Even if they have the chance to do better for themselves, over in Africa, they're not wanting to do better for themselves. They're not going to try to do better for themselves. And America just sort of rejected Africa, okay? And it's because of the fact of the way they are. They really want things to be a certain kind of way. They want things to be kind of a sort of in their own little bubble type way, in their old ways. They don't want to come up to the modern society. And since they haven't been wanting to come up to the modern society, we haven't tried to actually push it so that they'll come up to the modern society. Well, what happened was China and Russia has come in and really built the industry in that country. They have really built that country up a lot, okay? So since they built the country up a lot in that country, they are pretty loyal to them. Okay, and for America, at one point it was kind of go to China, get a bunch of cheap Chinese made goods, buy a bunch of kids from China, right? That's what the kind of the deal was. Kind of go to China, get a bunch of cheap Chinese made goods from buy a bunch of kids in China, go to India, get a bunch of kids to make a bunch of cheap China India goods, stuff like that, right? Well, that was kind of the deal. That was kind of the deal. Was kind of go over there and kind of get them to make the cheap goods. Well, now that doesn't work no more because they've gotten modernized. They got kind of the point where they're kind of getting to be like America. They're starting to complain and having issues, and they're trying to come up to the prices and everything else. Plus, we also have some guy who hands out tariffs like a friggin' chewing gum in a chewing gum factory, and so basically, what they're trying to do, and I'm not trying to drag this on too long, but what they're trying to do is they're trying to bring it over from there to here. Okay, they're trying to bring the cheap labor over here. Okay, so they can't do that with hand power. Can't do that with manpower. They can't do that with human beings. They can do that with AI technology, and they can build it cheaper here and assemble it cheaper here in America, and then ship it back everywhere else in the world by making it through right here with AI technology. Okay, does that kind of make sense to you? I hope it does. But that's the gist of it. They can build it there. They can build it cheaper here than they can there with robotics. Okay, so we build the infrastructure, we build the power centers, and we make AI technology be the nowadays child labor. In other words, and but in this instance, it's kind of like they do that, but then they cost me, you, and other people, and all the other people around us jobs, and the people they cost the people that we love jobs and stuff like that. So they're all they're all doing their own thing, but they're all doing their own thing, trying to bring in all this non-American made, this non-human made stuff here in America. And the only way we can fix this, me and you, is not buy a product that's made there. We cannot do Google searches. We can use something like, Swiss cows. There was a few of them I come across. I forget which ones it was. It was the three I come across that doesn't use no AI. They have no AI. Was Mojeev. It's Mojeev. Mojeev. They don't do any. No, Mojeek. 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 I have them on my computer. But anyway, Mojeek was one. Mojeek. Mojeek Quant, which doesn't do AI technology. You can actually toggle it off. I think it kind of comes standard with it, but you can toggle it off so you don't ever see it again. And another one was Brave. Brave doesn't do AI technology stuff. So if you don't want to see AI generated stuff, you don't have to with Brave. And all three of them also respect your privacy too. So they're privacy oriented. And then, like I said, Swiss Cows gives you the option to toggle it off. So does Ecosia. Ecosia gives you the option to not see AI stuff. So if you use one of them, personally, I would recommend probably. I think Quant would probably be about the best. Quant, and then Ecosia would probably be about the best ones. And then also Brave does put out some pretty good results. Majik does decent. I mean, it's not bad. It's different, but it's not bad. They're trying to do something better there. But they all respect your privacy. And that's another good factor, too, is your privacy is respected. So that big tech and big companies are not knowing what you're doing, where you're going, what you're doing on the web. So, let me just say it like this, guys. We're at that pivoting point right now. and this is going to depend on which way you go with it. I'm not trying to make this video too long about AI. God knows we've heard enough about AI, but we see, you already know, if you look at any of these videos online, you know where AI is going. You know, I don't know if you know this or not, they say 100 million, not 100,000, 100 million jobs can be lost this year, or between this year and in the end of next year, there could be 100 million jobs lost to AI. And it's up to me and you right now to take a stand. Like I said, we're coming up to this Y-shaped road. We're coming up to roads. We're at the end of this road, and we have a choice. We can go this way or we can go this way. It's coming up to a Y. If we go down this road, we go down the road of ruin. If we go down this road, we go down the road where we save ourselves. Personally, I'm not going to buy that shit. Pardon French, I'm not. Pardon French, I'm just saying. I'm not going to buy some AI generated, robotic made piece of shit. I want stuff that's made by human beings. If it says made in America, it better be made in America by people with two hands. Period. I don't care if it's made in America or grown in America, and the grown in America, made in America was a farmer's kid out here that's out here running farms and a vegetable farm someplace. That's fine by me. If the farmer's kids was out there doing that, that's part of farming. It doesn't matter to me how we get that product, as long as hands touched the product in the process of making the product. It'd be like me going down here to Starbucks and ordering something, and then Starbucks just has a big thing down here, a big computer thing that says, "Oh yeah, I want this, chocolate mocha with, I want this mocha with the, my whipped cream on top, and my sprinkles, and my, whatever, my shot of espresso to go with my, my coffee, whatever, however you want to call it. I don't know. If I ever get anything like that from any of them cold coffee things at all, which I never do anymore, but if I ever do, it may be once a year, and I just do it as a treat. But I just get the vanilla iced coffee with cream. But if I go in there and order my vanilla iced coffee with cream, and that's the way I like mine, all right. Bottom line is, if I'm going to order a vanilla iced coffee with cream, I'm going to expect some guy to be back there grinding up the coffee grounds, grinding up the coffee beans, making fresh coffee right there on the spot. And I want to see him prepare my coffee right there on the spot that day. And if I'm not seeing a human being doing that, they can go to hell. Pardon French. They can go to hell. In my opinion, they can go to hell. I'm not going to buy from a machine. I will not go up here to McDonald's and say, I want 2 McDoubles and a large water, or 2 double cheeseburgers and a large water, and them have a machine there that prepares my food. I want my burgers made by a human being. And if it's not made by a human, I'm not buying it. If Walmart goes all digital to where that they have robots in there stocking the place and everything else, the hell with Walmart. I'm not buying Walmart. It's already bad enough that they're doing away with people going around checking stuff, and they got this little robot that goes around, scans everything, knows how many items are in, counts how many items are in the thing. That's bad enough. They already got a thing where they can just push a button and the thing go around and clean and sweep and mop, clean and mop and sweep. Basically, it'll sweep and they go around and they got a thing that you don't see nobody down there doing the floors no more. They got a machine that goes around and does that for them, and it will stop whenever it comes across a person. It will stop right there and then it will move on. But it will literally, the machine will literally go around and do the whole floors in the place. That's bad enough. In my opinion, that's bad enough. But when we start getting to the point where we take the people out of the equation, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And the only way that we can stop this, the only way me or you, and anybody else, spread the word, man. Don't just listen to me on YouTube babbling my ass off, pardon French. Go out into the world. Talk to the people. Raise it up, man. Raise it up. Raise the roof, man. Raise the roof. Let people know. Don't buy something made by AI. If your company is laying you off because of AI, we need to get some kind of website started or something so that we can say that this company is making AI products there, and put them on a list of a name so that we can boycott the hell out of them, pardon the French. The only way we can stop this when we get to the end of this road to why is by boycotting them. I am not going to buy your product if you make it with AI. I do not want it. Don't send it. Keep it where you got it, because I ain't buying, buddy. You got it where you got it, and don't send it here. I'm not buying. You're cheap. You're underselling human labor, putting people on the street, making people starve to death, making us all go to a government check, as they say. They say they want to make us go to a government check. We all get paid by the government. We don't have to work no more. The machines do all the work for us. Well, here's the deal. I don't care. There'll be some people that have jobs, and they say the people that know AI is the ones going to have jobs the most. But what about the rest of the people, the whole other, let's say 70% of the people, and so many of these people aren't smart enough. I've worked with a lot of people that's not smart enough to know how to do this stuff. Older people who's up in their late 50s, they're not going to be technologically advanced, smart enough to be able to run this AI bullshit. Okay? There's some people that's simple-minded. Some people have learning disorders. Some people have disabilities, or dyslexic, and everything else. And so this is going to work for some people. For me, it'd be just fine. I can get in there and run that computer like you know what, because you see me. I use Linux and all this and that. But I'm telling you right now. You need to do whatever you can to not allow this to happen. All right, we need to get a website going. We need to get a website going or something like that. And I've kind of thought about how would I do it? How would I host this website? And if I did that, if I'm working with, let's say, we'll try to work on the Amazon servers, then Amazon would find out what I'm doing, and then they would actually shut me down. So I'm not exactly sure how to do it. I'd have to build my own thing. And that's the same way that Gab done. That's the same way that InfoWars done. They built their own thing. And it's just, I don't know if it's quite in me to be able to do that. But we need to do something. We need to get something going. We need to get a list. We need to spread the word on YouTube here and everything else not to use AI. And if we don't, we're in trouble. And guess what? This algorithm thing here might even kind of try to shut me down a little bit, try to silence me. They might not like what I'm saying, talking bad about AI, but because it's an AI robot that does the algorithms. But I don't care. We need to shut down AI, and we need to stop AI in its tracks while we got a chance. Because if we don't stop it now, we're not going to. It's not so bad that I don't mind so much that people put up cute little videos on YouTube. I just hope people have enough sense to know it's AI. I don't mind people making, adding a little bit of AI to movies. That's cool, fine. I don't care if you add AI to movies a little bit. But when we start replacing the actors in the movies for AI, that's a different story. When we start actually replacing human hands from building and working and doing stuff, we're in trouble. We need to work against this, guys. Don't buy the product. Don't do the Google searches with the AI. Do other alternative searches than AI generated searches. Okay? Anyway, guys, this may be the way that things are rolling. This may be the way things are going. But we have the option right now, me and you, to stop it. Okay? Be good? Good at it.